Okay, welcome back everyone. So now we know what one person's failed travel hack was. So when people are traveling abroad, I definitely have personal experience with this. People will try to do anything to avoid paying that additional baggage fee that airlines so love to place on you. So usually you have 23 kilograms if you decide to have checked luggage, but maybe if you only have hand luggage, you have 10 kilograms. And when you start packing your suitcase, you can quickly realize that that's actually not that much stuff. Especially if you are coming home from a vacation, you have a lot of things maybe that you've bought, or like food or jars of sauces or something like that that you've brought back with you. So some different ways that people try to do this is by wearing multiple layers of clothes, which sounds super uncomfortable. I cannot imagine being on a plane.
Oh my God,
like,
no. I would remove everything as soon as I got to my seat. It's just, no.
Yeah, right. Or people will purposely like wear something quite loose and quite baggy with as many pockets as possible and just put as many heavy items on their body as possible. I haven't done that specifically, but I've definitely worn like a winter coat in Korea and then like stuffed every pocket with like all of my like cosmetics or something like that, like the little bottles to like take the weight out of my suitcase. So that one is tried and tested and it worked. So far. But one person recently in Orlando International Airport decided to use the kind of viral pillowcase hack. So many airlines will see that you are carrying a little pillow or maybe like a stuffed toy of some sort to use as a pillow on the plane, and they will not count that as your like luggage allowance. So if you've got your neck pillow around your neck, they're not going to say, "I'll put your neck pillow on the conveyor too so we can weigh that." It's just kind of a given that many people will take a pillow with them. And so people on TikTok suggested that you can fill a pillowcase with like your squishy clothes, like your hoodie or maybe a robe, like some jumpers.
Towels.
Yeah, towels too, like those fluffy things that would actually work well as a pillow on the plane. And honestly, genius. Yeah. So genius. Like if you've got those things with you, you can turn them into a pillow and you can be comfortable on the plane. But what this guy, he took it too far. And so he just filled a pillowcase with like belongings from his suitcase that wouldn't work as a pillow. And so rightly so, I think. The airline was like, this is just a bag of stuff. Yeah. Like this is not a pillow. You're trying to sneak through like an extra thing of hand luggage. Like you're going to need to check it. And so unfortunately, this man didn't think that it was a good idea and got belligerent with the staff that work there. So he started getting really angry, wouldn't listen to their suggestions. And while all of this was happening, the plane left without him. And so as soon as the doors closed on the plane, his attitude changed. He was like, fine, I'll check the bag. But if you've,
too late.
Yeah, if you've ever missed a flight, you know that as soon as that door is closed, it's not opening again. So then that just made him more angry to the point where several police officers came and took him and told him to calm down. And then that was the last point where he realized that, okay, maybe I should have just chilled out and then maybe I would be on a flight home right now. Yeah. Yes.
That's a wild story.
I know.
He should have just cut his losses when they told him, like, no, you cannot bring this. It's like, oh man, all right, you caught me. All right, I'll trash it.
Could you imagine the baggage handlers though, with like a pillowcase full of stuff, being like, what is this? And then like throwing it into the plane. I can understand that maybe some of those things in his pillowcase were precious to him, and he didn't want to check them. But at some point, you just have to give up and be like, okay, I'll check it, fine, whatever. So, as I mentioned, when I travel, usually I come back with a much heavier suitcase than I did when I left. So, what gifts do you buy when you travel?
When I'm gonna buy something for my family back home, I usually bring them like the flavors of the ramen that is in Korea. They're not all those flavors are available in America. Same, like there's some flavors in America that we don't have here, like habanero, the buldak noodles. They have habanero in America, but they don't have it in Korea. So we just kind of swap.
Interesting.
Some like the face masks. I think that the Korean face care is superb. So my sisters, I give it to them. They're hardworking ladies, and so I make sure that they're looking nice while they do their jobs. Yeah, those are most of the things. I don't really bring the souvenir items anymore because they usually have like one function, and many people just like they get it, they're happy, and then they throw it away. Unless it's my aunt who collects magnets for her refrigerator. She's the only one that'll get her those exact souvenir magnets. But everybody else, it's just nice things that Korea has to offer. What about you?
Same. I usually take snacks and skincare. Those are the two things that my friends and family usually ask me for. And then in the past, the first time that I went home after living in Korea, I bought my mom some of that kind of like mint blue Korean pottery.
Oh.
It's like quite famous. If you go to Insadong, like those traditional stops have like traditional Korean pottery. So I gave her like an expensive gift the first time I went back. But these days, they just get
whatever's a
Daiso. Yes, no, that's too much. No.
Oh, that's expensive.
They get Emart's finest.
Oh. What's on sale?
Oh, and then usually when I come back from vacation, I tend to buy a lot of clothes.
Same.
And then also different food that you can't find in Korea.
Right.
Oh, that's usually what I come home with. So do you think that the extra baggage charges are more like a penalty or a punishment than a normal fee?
I do see it as a penalty because I don't think it's fair. I mean, I feel like no, wait, let's think about this. Because if there were no extra fees, people would abuse that. And if everyone is taking advantage of the no fees, then the plane, they do have some weight capacities. But I've also heard that there are kinds of airplanes that transport large animals, like elephants and whales.
Where are their baggage charges?
Right. And then I think like if they can handle that much weight and a certain amount of people and their luggage is like, I don't think it equals out. So I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it, and I don't know well about the physics and all that about the airplanes, but I'd much rather avoid those fees if I can, unless it's something that I absolutely must bring. And I'm like, okay, I'll pay the extra 100. But it does seem a little bit
suspicious.
Yeah, pricey.
For me, it depends on the airline that I fly with. So last time I went home, I flew with British Airways, and to upgrade my luggage from 23 kilos to 32 kilos was a really reasonable fee. So I paid it very happily for all of like my goodies that I brought home from England. But if I fly to Southeast Asia, usually I fly on very low budget airlines. And so the experience of flying is very uncomfortable. And so usually if I have been shopping in that country, sometimes I add a checked bag on the way back, and their fees are so expensive. And I always think to myself, I should have just flown with a normal like airline carrier and been comfortable, because it would have been almost the same price. So sometimes I think that budget airlines, their fees are so excessive.
Maybe they know.
I think so.
Because of all the tourism.
I think so.
They're just like, aha, you're trying to save some pennies, we're going to get you.
I think
we'll
so.
Get you.
Air Asia, I'm looking at you. You are the main culprit.
They're right there behind the screen. She's talking to us.
I'm watching. So we hope that you've learned some travel hacks for your next upcoming trip. Maybe think about what you put in your pillowcase if you do decide to try it out. So remember that there are some new vocabulary words that we would like you to try to use going forward. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.
To the gills.
To the gills.
Every trick in the book.
Every trick in the book.
Bundle up.
Bundle up.
Baggy.
Baggy.
Push the envelope.
Push the envelope.